We're going to be talking about pruning peaches. Pruning peaches in year 1, which is the year that you plant the tree, year 2, and year 3. So you can see what trees will look like in 1, 2, and 3. This peach tree here was planted a month ago. This is now June. This was planted late May 1st, so it's been in the ground 6 weeks. It was a small tree, and all we did to it is we topped it here at about 28, 30 inches above the ground, and then we walked away. It's had plenty of water, and it's been ignored except for that. We've done nothing to it. That is what this tree looks like in year 1. We're going to walk up now to a tree that was planted last year, and it looked just like that tree 1 year ago. We are now at a tree that was planted last year, 1 year ago. The caliper, as you can see here, this caliper is about an inch and a half. So peaches grow very, very, very fast. There was nothing done to this tree last year that just grew as a bush. We are now going to choose 3 or 4 scaffolds. We're trying to grow an open vase tree, a tree that is open with 3 or 4 major branches. So it's hard for you to see in here, but you can kind of see, this is where we cut the tree last year at about 28, 30 inches, somewhere like that. And this is the response that we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty big scaffolds or branches and some minor ones underneath. We're going to clear all of this stuff off on the inside, exposing these scaffolds. So I'm going to remove the stuff that's just too small. It's not suiting our purpose because we have nice ones to choose from. Basically, we're choosing the 3 or 4 best. Now I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to motor right up this branch, taking off material that is growing straight back into the tree. Exposing this scaffold system going up at approximately a 45 degree. Now I'm going to come in and remove everything that's underneath. That branch is done for now. We may come back to it. We're going to do the same thing to this other one here. We're basically just choosing a branch that's going outwards. We're following this growing tip that goes out at a desired angle. There's our angle going out, so we're just going to follow that back. Exposing a scaffold system. Now we're getting closer. You're starting to see a nice system developing. This is our main scaffold. This is a side one. It's too early in the branch to have a major scaffold coming off of it, so we're going to get rid of that. This one here is growing a little too vertically, so I'm going to come back and cut it back to this one that's growing out. And that tree's about done. If you really want to get technical, you can come out here and remove some of these growing tips that are competing with your main scaffold system. That's if you want to. I'm going to call that tree done for this year. There's your vision of a second year peach tree. We are now on to what's called a 3-year peach tree. This tree here is the third leaf. It is loaded with peaches this year, and we're going to remove most of them. So we're at a caliper now of 4 inches. These trees weren't even irrigated. They've just been growing well. Now, it's the same thing that we did in year 2. We're going to be removing material that's on the inside. Now, as far as pruning timing, it's with peaches, you want to have ideally 48 hours after pruning, making a pruning cut that is above 50 degrees. That would be the ideal, and dry. This helps with the healing, keeping out fungal issues. You can prune when the tree is still dormant, in the late spring. We like to prune now because this is when we have time. You want to prune before the peaches are larger than a golf ball, before the seeds inside have hardened. We're right on the edge of that right now. However, by pruning at this time, we don't get too much strong regrowth. So I'm going to go in, dive into this tree. It looks pretty. By the time I'm done, it's going to look pretty empty. So I go in, I'm following my scaffold line. Once again, you can see deep in here where it was topped 2 years ago when it was planted. And these are the same scaffolds that we just saw on the previous 2-year tree. I'm going to march right up this, and I'm going to start cutting off anything that's growing up and inside. Look at that. There's a quart of peaches on that. I'm heartlessly throwing it out. I don't want that. Too much. I'm going to continue on up the scaffold. Now, I know it's hard to see. If it's hard to see, then you certainly can't pick. So just keep going along, opening up that inside, making choices, saving big choices for later. In any type of pruning, it's just a process of elimination. You get rid of the material that is absolutely obvious. These are the ones growing back inside the tree. Then you can come back and make hard decisions later as you've opened it up. Starting to open up, still much too thick. You can't see into this tree. So I am going to make this. That was a big one. That was an enormous amount of peaches on that. Gone. If you can't get into the tree, those peaches are pointless. Okay, I can at least see into this thing now and start to figure out. I'm still designing the ultimate structure of this tree. It's only a 3-year-old tree. By year 4, it would be a early adulthood. Consider it that way. This is a teenager, still forming it. So I'm considering this to be a pretty nice branch system. I'm not liking the angle up here. We have 1, 2 competing scaffolds, side scaffolds, much too early. So I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to go and do the same thing all the way around this tree, removing side scaffolds. Now, the question is, will this, which is still a little bit, these two are kind of steep for an angle. We want the tree ultimately to be like this, bent down. Now, will the crop bend it down? Somewhat. You can tie it down. You can be very radical and cut it way back to one that you prefer, that's down low here. What I'm going to do is not think about it yet. I'm going to just continue to erase what has to come off because it's still too thick. So this one's underneath. Anything weak and underneath comes off. I'm just going to shorten this one because it's quicker than thinning. I'm not taking this one off yet because I might make the radical cut of doing this. It's a hard decision, so let's leave it a little longer. starting to look a little better. If we treat this as our permanent scaffold, that's not bad. We're looking at a little sharper of an angle than I really like, but it's not bad. Let's leave that system for now and move over to this one. Pretty steep. Let's do the usual thing. Let's remove the stuff that has to come off. These are the ones on the inside, and see if we like it. This is where you say half of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Once again, I could cut here, taking that system out that direction. Let's just do it for the fun of it. So we're going to cut that whole thing off. Now, by making that cut, we have exposed this one, these two patterns we can follow. Let's take this one off that's competing with it. And what we're going to be doing here, we're sacrificing fruit this year for building a really nice scaffold for the future. So what we're doing here is we're driving the energy along this nice pathway. So here is your vascular flow, your energy flow is going out. This is a much better angle. And we come on out. Each of these is a growing tip. Whenever it hits, it's going to start to spread the energy among all of these. So we are going to drive the energy, getting rid of all those growing tips, into this one that we really like. By the end of the growing season, this is going to be out here at a beautiful angle. We've sacrificed some fruit this year. Not a big deal, because you're really training this tree for the future. So I like that, as ugly as it is. Coming over to this scaffold, this is a nice angle. We're going to get rid of this one that's underneath, even though it's loaded with peaches. We're going to get rid of this one down here. We're going to walk our way up. This is the angle that we want. So we're going to get rid of some of these competing side scaffolds. This is your, once you've identified your main system, the others are just competition. This is called just a thinning cut. We're going to let this tree have some fruit. So that's a nice looking system now. There's the energies going right up through there. We can even shorten that. So once again, this was going to end up being about here at the end of the season. So now we're back to here trying to decide what to do with this. I think now that we have seen what we've done here, we're going to do something similar on this one. We're going to come in, lose it, going to either this one or this one for the, to open this guy up so it goes out far. And I like that. Looking at it from this angle, we have 1, 2. What are we going to do here? Doesn't much matter. We'll decide next year. They're not hurting each other. Let's let this have some peaches. Let's let that one have some peaches. We're going to pretend like both of them are the scaffold system. So I'm shortening this because what we do know is this side scaffold is not going to exist much longer, but we're going to salvage a few of the peaches. This is a side scaffold as well. We'll salvage a few peaches this year. One last scaffold is this one right here. And then we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 nicely spread. So we're going to come in here. This is a nice angle. We're going to keep it. We're going to choose one of these guys up here to be the terminus of that's the energy is going up, up, up to this one here. I'm just going to shorten that. It's a competitor. Underneath, underneath. It's got a few peaches on it. If you walk away from this tree now, you've done a 95% job. Okay, same tree that we just finished pruning. Quick lesson on thinning. You don't want 90% of the fruit or more in a good year is going to be on the ground. You want to, it's a carpet of small peaches. You want to thin the peaches before the pits inside start to harden, which is basically, you don't want it bigger than a golf ball. Depending on the size of your branch, this one's very thin. It can, this right here, this little branch can support one peach. Take this other one off. If it's a good, solid, strong branch, like this one here, which is pencil diameter, you can support this branch here. First, get rid of this one. It's going to do two nice big peaches. Here's a strong shoot. I'm looking at the overall strength of this. I say 4 peaches on this. There's probably formulas there online, but the general idea is removing more is better. Your peach will sweeten up. It won't be tiny. So a lot of this was done just simply with pruning shears. This here, that is not a good branch. It's very small. It's only got a couple of little leaves. We'll let it have 1 peach. It should be okay. This is also a good time to remove any peaches that have damage to them, insect or hail. Highly recommend when you work in peaches that you wear long sleeve shirts, cover up, don't touch your face. It's same thing as fiberglass insulation, and you will be very unhappy. So we're just going through. We use wiffle ball bats when we're really going at it on the thinning. There's too many here. That is a 3 peach situation. This amount of leaf will support 3 big fat peaches. It's a little marble, get rid of it. This little branch here is going to support 1. This is a very tiny 3/16 caliper. Get rid of these 2 little guys. Pick the best of these 3. That's all that this little system can support is 1 peach. So less is more in thinning world. I'm sorry, more is more in thinning world. So thin them hard, you'll be happy.